Hello and welcome to QSecure's Fireside Chats. This is a series of questions and answers with QSecure employees. I'm Paul Fugner, QSecure's head of marketing and head and moderator of this series. Our goal with this podcast series is to export the human quotient that makes up QSecure, the vision, the mission, and the values that define our company. We're an organization that is all about innovation. Our DNA consists of a wide variety of talented and diverse people and perspectives. Today, we're going to welcome our guest, Craig Debban. Welcome to the show, Craig.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. And by way of reference, Craig is in our Minneapolis office today, and I am based in our San Francisco Bay office. We are a distributed workforce, so we're all around the country. So, Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at QSecure.
Craig Debban, being the Chief Information Security Officer here at QSecure, and I also work a bit with compliance, kind of tag team that with our general counsel. As the Chief Information Security Officer, kind of the responsible for the overall security of our information systems, and it puts me in a unique position to work with a little bit of everybody to understand kind of the challenges, the data that we're working with, and working in more of a secure manner.
Well, Craig, you just said your title, Chief Information Security Officer, and the name of the company is QSecure. So you got a lot of security running around there.
That's
Can you
right.
tell us what security means to you? It's a big, broad word, but what does security mean to you?
No, that's a great question, Paul. Honestly, I think security can be conveyed as a state of being, right? And security is a sense of protection, safety, trust. Well, how is that established, right? That's established for an organization, that's established with people, process, and tools. And in order to establish the level of security that you want, you have to mature those along. So moving those, again, people, process, and tools to a state of actionability and maturity that works for the company, that's how you establish security.
Well, you've clearly have done a good job of it throughout your career because you've been in security in a lot of ways. And I don't only mean in the information technology perspective, but for our audience, Craig was also a Marine. So thank you for your service, Craig. And
You're
can you
welcome.
tell us a little bit about how your background in the military influenced your sense of security, your sense of purpose and mission, and how that influenced your joining QSecure?
That's another great question, Paul. I'd love to say I was very aware and cognizant of that. It was more instilled, right? It became a culture. Obviously, in the Marine Corps, it's everyday life, right? So when you understand that threats can be existential to you, you take security seriously, and it just becomes muscle memory. And so establish that culture of security at the companies that I've gone has been a mission and passion of mine.
I love it. Muscle memory. That sums up the smart Marine. You got the muscle and you got the brawn and you got the brains behind it as well too. So,
I'm sure there's a joke there, Paul.
well, probably somewhere there. Well, it's said that CISOs have sometimes the most unenviable job in the world because no one talks to them unless something goes wrong. And they're expected to have everything run right and no one will bat an eye, but when something goes wrong, that's when they start to go to the CISO. Is that a fair interpretation of what a lot of CISOs have to put up with?
Yeah, rumor has it that you'll pull your hair out, Paul. I mean, yes, I think that's a bit of a misnomer, though. I think that's true, but I think as the CISO position has further developed in the world today and in business, I think they're seeing the value of this kind of hub spoke mentality, because a CISO, myself, is responsible for overall security. You're in a unique position to work with all different parts of the organization. That gives you a little bit different aspect, a little different viewpoint. I think good leaders, strong business will tap into that. There's value in being able to not only see the dots, but connect them.
I love that answer, Craig, especially the hair piece. But I do have to say that your answer is intriguing because CISOs historically are seen as playing defense. And I get the impression from what you've said, today's enlightened CISO can go on offense and talk about not only protecting the risks, but actually providing solutions that are helping an organization on the offensive side of things, maybe getting to market first and doing something that shows a competitive advantage in the world of security. Is that are you seeing that more and more with CISOs in today's world?
Yes, and I think to be on the cutting edge and I would say not on your back foot, right? If you're a CISO or an operation that's focusing specifically on defensive measures, right? Blue team, if you're familiar with that's defensive in nature. You need to have solutions or products that are also considered red team that are proactive, right? And so that combination, this is where I think CISOs become the purple team, right? Orchestrating that interaction between the defensive, responsive in nature, because you need that, but also, hey, how do you attack? How do you get ahead of the bad guys to understand where you have risk, and how do you address that risk? The ones that you know and don't know.
Well put. Well put. I think that offense and defense are equally important, and CISOs are obviously recognizing that more and more every day. QSecure is also considered by many an innovation company, a company that tries to think outside the box, see ahead of the around corners, ahead of the curve. How would you describe innovation relative to your time at QSecure?
This is an old one for me. Everyone's heard, one step in front of the train. I like to think QSecure is two, right? We're not only thinking about this just enough to be in front of either a security event or protecting an organization. This is good enough. It is forward thinking. It is thinking about not only the challenges that we face today and improving security today. It's thinking about, okay, how do I future proof this, or how do I set something in that can stand a little bit of time and it's not just here today, gone tomorrow. That kind of thinking that wants to put in an established solid solution, again, a mission with purpose. You tie that together, I think that's honorable, and it means something. It means everyone I've met here.
I think that's great. It's a sense of we're a partner with who we're working with. We're not just here today for you. We're here for you today and tomorrow, into the future. Craig, I usually ask all of the guests one question, but
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you this question. I'm going to answer it for you.
All
And the
right.
question is, what are you most proud of about QSecure? And a lot of people don't know this, but Craig has a young son who is a quasi employee of the company and been dubbed QBaby. And Craig's son is probably, and his entire family, probably one of the prouder things he is. But we at QSecure are very happy and proud to include your young son as the QBaby face of QSecure.
That's awesome. It is. It is. Just a moment, because it does mean something. To have the pride of what you do, to work with great people, and to come home and be able to convey that to your family, it feels good.
Well, I think we're all lucky, proud, and blessed to be working at QSecure on such an important mission. And we're happy to have you. You've been a great guest and a great employee. So we really appreciate and thank you for your time, Craig, and for your service.
Awesome. Thank you, and you're welcome.
That concludes today's episode of QSecure Fireside Chats. Once again, I'm Paul Fugner, bringing the human quotient to life from QSecure's perspective on all things quantum, and we enjoy having you as our guests. If you'd like to learn more about QSecure, please visit our website or see us on any of our social media channels, LinkedIn and QSecure, and become a part of the QSecure and quantum community. Thank you, and until next time, QSecure Fireside Chats.
Catch new episodes every other week. Follow QSecure Fireside Chats on YouTube and all major podcast streaming platforms.